What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Music in the Minor League. This week we're joined by Lauren Eddy, who you may know from local bands Lago, Raudiver, or Texas Skeksis. She also runs a zine called Wake the Zine running out of Galveston. She also does booking through Third Eyeland Party, and she also helps with the Izquierda Festival down in Galveston. We've communicated back and forth via email with Lauren for years through booking various shows, and it was great to finally sit down and talk to her. Before we get to our housekeeping, we wanted to kick it off and let you know that she has a few shows coming up with Lago. First one will be April 15th as part of the K-True Outdoor Show that'll be in the Central Quad at Rice University, and it's free. It runs from 1 to 11 p.m. Set lists will be distributed closer to the date. Lago is also playing at Axelrad on Friday, May 19th with Letting Up Despite Great Faults from Austin. That one's also free. And then on May 5th through 7th, the Izquierda Surf Festival down in Galveston will be taking place, and the Third Eyeland Takeover will be on May 5th on a Friday out at Galveston Island Brewing. That will include Annabelle Chairlegs, Neon Lemon, India Tigers in Texas, and the Young Mammals, which Lauren just happened to join as the bass player. It's one more thing she does. If you're interested in coming out to the Izquierda Festival, use code MIML10 for 10% off all ticket types for the first 100 people. So if you're one of our listeners and you want to head out there, drop that code and get 10% off your ticket. Again, it's MIML10. Now that we're through all that, let's get to our housekeeping. As always, if you dig what you hear, tell your friends, let them know, share a link on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're at. Just let people know that you like this podcast. Hopefully they'll check it out and follow your lead. We really appreciate you getting the word out. Next up, go add Lauren and all of her bands on all of your social media accounts. Any bands we bring up, it's a great thing you can do to help us out. All musicians need that kind of boost, to make things go. And again, that's go through Lago, Raudiver, Texas Skeksis, Third Eyeland Party. They're all out there, and it'd be great if you'd check them out. All right, finally, we're here into April, man. We're firmly in, so we got some shows coming up. First up on April 8th, we'll be at Dan Electro's with Grifters and Shills, man. Check that out. And that's kind of our tour kickoff before we hit the road, because on April 13th, we'll be at the Hunt Club in Tulsa, Oklahoma with Grifters and Shills. On the 14th, we'll be at the Brick in Kansas City, Missouri with Grifters and Shills and Johnny Lawhorn Pentagram String Band. On April 15th, we'll be at AM/PM Bar with Grifters and Shills and Charlie T. Memphis. And on April 16th, we'll be at Frankie's OKC in Oklahoma City with Grifters and Shills, Griffin Wade, and Rachel Lynch. Then on April 21st, we'll be doing our first one of the year. We'll be out hosting the Ace District Community Open Mic here in Baytown. If you're interested in that, come out. And then on April 22nd, we'll be at Ronnie's Ice House as part of the EquiSearch benefit. We've mentioned it before. Jeff's going to be out there. It's his birthday with Pretty OK Barbecue, celebrating his birthday by raising money to help EquiSearch. EquiSearch goes out and helps find missing people. It's a great thing they do, and we recommend you come out, get some free music, and donate some money. Other acts playing will be Chris Hardy, Grifters and Shills, Symblem, and many more. It'd be great for you to come out. All right, now that we're done all of that, we're going to kick it off with a brand new single from Lauren's band Raudiver. This is currently unreleased. The song is called Leave, and we hope you dig it. See you on the other side. right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Music in the Minor League. Today we are joined by Miss Lauren Eddy. Oddly enough, we have known Lauren via email for many years as we've been booking shows at Mod Coffee in Galveston, but it wasn't until recent times that we realized that we knew of her band and knew her in other ways. So it's cool to finally sit down and talk and hear your actual voice, like I say, again, outside of singing and all that. So thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I guess first thing, we always start with everybody, through your bands, like Lago, you play guitar, Texas Skeksis, you play bass. I just saw the new one, Raudiver, you play keys, you sing in all of them. So you're very well-rounded as a musician. So I guess at what age did you start picking up music and really getting into it?
I think I used to write lyrics just out of my imagination. I could hear the music in my head and I just write lyrics under the dining room table. Remember that. And then I started playing guitar when I was 12. I played classical guitar for a long time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and then I guess I got into music more like, bands, local bands, like in my early 20s. And I started playing acoustic and kind of writing like folky songs on a laptop. And, eventually, actually, Charlie bought an electric guitar and I was like, hey, this is actually easier to play than an acoustic guitar.
Right.
It's kind of a misconception that acoustic guitars are for girls and they're easier. Really, you have to have stronger fingers to play acoustic. So that's how I got into that and then just slowly picked up other things over the years.
One thing I say you go through, y'all have, both you and Charlie together, have multiple bands. I guess, is it you write like a bunch of different stuff and just feel like having different outlets? Is it, I guess, the lineups change and you're like, okay, we're going to put this one away for a while and focus on the new one?
I would say that, I guess sometimes things don't line up perfectly with where all of your collaborators are at. So I think it just depends on the season. If we feel like being very active, but maybe like a project's less active at that time, then we just can't help it. We'll start something else. And just sort of bounce back and forth. Sometimes a song, we did a lot of demos over the pandemic and things just didn't seem to fit. And so hence the other projects. It just kind of depends.
So you started out playing guitar. When did you start playing bass?
That the pandemic, we started playing with our friend Ryan Holloway. He was coming over and he was getting into synths. So I was like, oh, well, I can't remember why I got a bass. I actually don't remember. But I was like, oh, okay, I'll try this. Charlie wanted to learn guitar, I think is why. Because Charlie's a drummer. And so he's like, well, we had a lot of time at home. And he's like, well, I'll start picking up guitar. So that kind of made me think maybe I'll do bass.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone was productive during COVID.
Yeah, I feel like I was really lazy during the pandemic. I should have worked harder.
I was not at first. It was too much anxiety, at first. It took a while to kind of get more comfortable where you could focus on projects finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just used it to practice. Well, we did record an album. That was really just a lot of me locking myself in a room and being like, here, play these parts.
Right.
There's the Brian Wilson. I just locked myself away and did everything. Not really. I'm way overselling it. I'm just trying to, build the legend. But it was a good time for us that we actually got
buddies.
Right.
Yeah.
I know it is funny. It's for someone who's as busy as you are. It is fun. I imagine the break was kind of frightening, but also like, okay, good, I can breathe.
Yeah, well, we're both kind of on the line, being introverted and extroverted. We can kind of go either way. So it worked for us. Okay, we were fine with it.
Well, always find people who are like socially awkward, which I can be at times. When I guess the rules are laid out, like as a musician thing, it's a lot easier to be social. It's like,
oh, true.
Everything's safe. Like the boundaries are kind of laid out. It's like, okay, I'm operating in this fashion. There's not a lot of unknown.
Yeah, it makes it really easy to talk to people and meet people. You have something to talk about.
Right.
And you're usually surrounded by alcohol.
True, very true.
Never thought about it that way.
Like I say, you do a lot on the island. I know you'll have Third Eyeland where y'all do all these different shows and then you book Mod and all that. I guess at what point did you decide to get on, like, it sounds a little weird, but almost like scene building, like you're trying to create a music scene in Galveston?
Oh, yeah. No, that makes sense to me. I think, I remember trying to throw like parties like that had a theme. When I lived at my parents' house, I would invite people over and it would just be like think one year it was like kaleidoscope was the theme. And it was just to have something fun that had kind of an identity. And I just like to, I don't know, I'm a night owl. So I love to go out at night. It's just, to me, it gives you something to do as a person who's more alive in the PM. And I think just doing music fits with that. And I guess with being in Galveston, especially, that was the first time that I could really feel connected to a social group that was pretty large and has a lot of variety at the same time as being kind of small town. And it just feels more natural here. I guess when you find a community that feels that way for you, and Galveston loves a party. We love crazy, costumes and themes and just off the wall stuff. So it's really an ideal place for that. And just, how it is being a musician, you end up getting into promotion and marketing.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of, the line gets blurred there. But eventually I was like making zines and like dropping those around town. And yeah, you go from being in a band to, oh, you're in a booking group now, it's pretty natural. I think probably, I would guess most musicians love events and putting on events. Maybe some of them don't, but I definitely do.
It's one of those things where, like, if you don't, especially in Galveston, it's a lot of it's, I guess, touristy music.
Yes.
That kind of runs around. So if you really want to start your own independent stuff, like growing up around there, our friend RJ used to do a bunch of shows. And then, I feel like y'all are kind of doing the same thing, where it's like all these cool bands are coming through. Or, y'all are booking shows at the Old Quarter. Or do them at Devil in the Deep for a while in other venues. It's like you're bringing a lot of bands that probably normally wouldn't make it onto the island. They definitely would be playing, insert island bar that's...
Yeah, which we love doing events at bars, but I think you're pointing out, like, there's not really venues so much. There's Old Quarter, but they book up really fast. So that's probably why you end up being a little more DIY. You end up doing pop-ups at different bars and getting more into all aspects of putting on the event. Whereas I think if you're probably in a bigger city, you don't have to be like the jack of all trades with throwing events so much. So that probably is why we end up being a little overbooked and doing all these fun shows.
Well, yeah, I think that's a good part of it, though, is why you're able to get so many people that want to come down there to play shows, is because you're putting on a quality event. You guys seem to curate a show, as opposed to maybe some bars are like, yeah, we got 3 bands playing tonight, whatever. It's very artist focused. And so I think bands gravitate towards that because they know we're going to have a good turnout. People are going to be excited to see us. And that's the thing too, is for such a long time, Galveston didn't get good shows. It got avoided. And so now it's like, whoa, I can go down and be at the beach and, have a great day with my family and then go play a show that night and ton of people will be there. Sign me up. I think that you guys are doing a really good job of kind of cultivating a great scene down there. And so it's just really nice to see that grow up. And I think that's why people are starting to gravitate more towards it, which is a great thing.
Yeah. And, there are several different groups working now, which is fun. And we do a lot of collaborations. So that's the other thing is the different groups do help each other and share contacts and share different techniques. So like the La Izquierda people this year, we're working together. Third Eyeland and them are working together, and that's been fun. They're doing like a Friday night. We're doing like a takeover. So they were like, here's the budget, book the bands, and then we cross promote. So it's been really cool. And of course, they're bringing down Bun B, which is crazy.
Right, that's amazing. Oh man, that's so cool.
I know it's cool to see how that's grown, because I know for some people we knew played it the first year, it was just out. It was on a pier.
Oh, Jimmy's on the Pier, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember Gabe played it and other people. It was just like, man, it's like, yeah, we're setting up on the pier and we're playing. It was like, cool, man. And then, man, Robert's been doing a lot of work.
Yeah, he really does. And he's got a whole team now. Jessica Antonelli's doing the social media, and so it's been really strong this year. The Galveston Island Brewing people are very involved, Sade and Mark. So it's cool.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool. They did the Third Island beer, y'all got y'all's own.
Yeah, that was so amazing. Beer. And Jaron plays guitar with us, and he plays in India Tigers in Texas as well. He did the can design. So that was a fun collab, and it matched the poster and everything. So yeah, those are fun. It was a good beer too.
That's a bonus right there.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things I thought is like y'all's video for Tell Me How It Ends, like y'all did it all along that downtown area of Galveston that I guess most of us end up gravitating toward.
Yeah, that was a bonkers idea. We just were like, let's fit it all. We were just running. We had like the DP running around the entire island, like trying to film all this stuff. We were just like, what if we then go over here? And it was crazy.
It was a day of ideas.
Yeah.
Wow. It's really fun to watch.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of fun to recognize all the places.
Right.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like, like a bingo kind of thing. Like there's there. Been there.
Collect them all.
Right.
Did we just make a Pokemon Go reference? We did. Heck yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Trying to appeal to the kids.
Yeah, we don't know too much about kids anymore.
Right. We're now the elder statesmen here.
Yeah, I'm a grown-up kid.
One of the things I know, so you've mentioned a few times coming to Galveston. I guess where did you start out at? Did you play music before you came to Galveston, or?
Yes. Let's see. I've probably been here like almost 10 years, maybe 10 years. But I grew up in Texas City, so not very far away.
Whoa. You're a TC kid too?
Oh, you are too?
Graduated class 98.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, definitely. Until I was 21.
Heck yeah.
My parents moved to League City and I got out as fast as I could. Yeah, and Charlie's from Lamarck.
Oh, wow.
I also trash talk, but my mom's from Lamarck. You know how it is. It's just friendly.
My mom's from Lamarck. She graduated from Lamarck High School in like 72. And then my dad's from BOI, but born on the island. So, yeah. See.
Wow. That's
Galveston
crazy.
County represent.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So I didn't go very far from the family grounds, I guess. I have old family roots in Galveston too. And I don't know. I haven't really lived anywhere else. So
you're not missing out on anything else. It's fine.
I've been to Austin. I've seen it.
Right. I've seen the world. I've been to Austin. I've been there. I've done it. That's basically New York of the South.
Yeah.
I'm about to offend a lot of people with that comment. I know it.
No, it's great that it's so close. We can just drive there. It's like 4 hours away.
Right.
Or 3 if you're speeding.
We don't do that.
Yeah, I don't do that either. The state troopers are very scary.
This is the most Texas thing we've had said in a while. It's close. It's only like 3-4 hours away.
Yeah,
that is a very Texas thing to say.
Oh my god, yeah, we were on tour.
Right.
We were on tour on the East Coast one time, and in 3 hours we went across from multiple states. And I was like, "Whoa, this is like going to Austin." But I've been to
it's crazy out there. You feel like you're going into a funnel.
Yeah,
everything gets closer together. And then I did not realize that New Jersey doesn't have public restrooms.
Nope.
And so for some reason, I always pee before you leave New York. But so I was desperate. I was like going from door to door. And finally, this man at a convenience store was like, "You can use our employee bathroom." But I had no idea. New Jersey is very strange.
Oh, yeah. And also, if you go to a bodega, don't just go to the bathroom. You have to ask for permission. I found that out the hard way, too.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
it's all weird up there with the bathrooms.
It really is, man.
I don't understand it.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's like legally required here, I think.
The entire state is like a Quest Lab waiting room. There's no restrooms.
Oh, man. We're definitely not getting that Quest Lab promotion anymore. Dang it.
Man.
That's crazy. Wow.
Also in New York, there are certain roads you can't drive vans on. I found that out the hard way. We're in a 15-passenger van with a 12-foot trailer on a parkway. And everywhere I'm going, these cars keep waving at us and stuff. And I was like, man, I don't know what they said about New Yorkers.
So friendly.
Yeah, they're super friendly. And finally, one gets next to me. He's like, roll your window down. And so I roll the window down. He's like, hey, man, you can't be on this road. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, you're over the size limit. He goes, it's like a $500 fine. And also, there's a bridge up the road that's only 8 feet tall.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, oh, my God.
Must exit immediately.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A +1 for New York, man. That someone was nice enough to be like,
I'm telling you.
Look at this texture. We're going to ha, ha, ha.
I love New Yorkers. I love them. I even love them when they're rude. I think that's so entertaining.
Exactly. I agree.
But a lot of them are just really friendly. It's like, I don't know. It's a myth.
Yeah. Anyways, I told people when I was up, we played there years ago and drove through Manhattan at 4 p.m. on a Friday. And, everyone's getting angry, cutting you off, flipping you off, doing this. I'm like, but they just move on to the next thing. It's not like Texas where it's like, I'm going to shoot that dude who cut me off. They're just like,
oh, yeah, Houston. So scary.
Yeah, I'm follow you home.
You. And then it's like, they're already flipping off the next guy. They forgot you ever existed.
Right, yeah.
It's just part of the fun. It was just like, this is anarchy.
Here they like to hunt.
Right. They'll hunt you.
I was like, like, this is anarchy.
It is
It's amazing.
scary, and it's like I think 45 is supposed to be like one of the most dangerous roads in the nation.
Yep.
I think it's 45 North specifically. I don't know.
Oh, I believe that.
Oh, totally believe that.
Anything between Houston and Dallas, it's just like, I hate this road.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we get these, TxDOT closes the entire freeway. So that happened last year for La Izquierda. They just shut down the freeway. Like, I don't even know if they post notice anywhere. Maybe they do, but that's crazy because you're trying to plan a weekend event and you just have no idea when the freeway is going to be shut down.
Oh, yeah. There's been times when it's supposed to be shut down. They tell you, oh, yeah, be prepared. And they don't shut it down. It's like, oh, just kidding. You know, sorry you rerouted your whole weekend for us, but we don't need that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I rerouted the podcast. We started talking about
Oh no,
New
this,
Yorkers.
this is how the podcast works.
Yeah, no. Yeah, this is the fun part where it starts going like, how far are they going to go off track with this one?
I hope we don't deter anyone from touring it through Texas.
Oh no, touring through Texas is awesome.
45 is
Just
not
go
fun.
I-10 to Houston,
Yeah.
stay on I-10, go 71, just avoid 45
Just
north.
avoid 45, yeah.
And then you go from Austin up through Waco, so you can hit the check stop, and then go
Oh, the check stop,
into
yes.
Dallas Fort Worth without ever touching 45.
Solid plan there.
Wow.
There's 30
You should
ways to
charge
get
for
everywhere.
that.
I know, like we're like key maps over here.
I could get, it's like any one person, you can give good life advice, but then what about your life? It's like, we don't talk about my life.
Right.
We're not talking about what I'm doing all this terrible stuff so you don't
Right.
have to.
How do you think I got the advice?
Oh, yeah.
I've driven 45.
Look, there was always that guy who tried the wrong mushroom, right?
Yeah.
Old
wrong-
Terry.
Or the wrong Tic Tac.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See,
I
growing
thought
up,
it was a
Houston
Tic Tac.
used to be the end of my 45 run. It was like,
Oh yeah.
got off the ferry, drove through Galveston. It's like, we're on 45, yeah. And then
We're on a big road, Daddy.
it's like, there, we went to
Yeah.
whatever concert. And then it's like, this is great. Then you didn't know once you got north of the city, it was like, oh no. It's like a racetrack where some people are doing 15 and some are doing 105.
Yeah, it's just crazy out there. It's like the wild, wild west, man.
It really
Figure
is.
it out.
It's a fun time.
It is. So what we're saying, kids, is come to Texas. You'll enjoy.
Oh,
it.
yeah. Especially come to Galveston. You just
Exactly.
got to make sure you hit up Third Eyeland Party.
Exactly.
Right. And if you want to get acquainted with the island, you can watch Lago's video for Tell Me How It Ends.
Dude,
True.
that would be cool. If people could do that. Like, I'm going to go to all the places in the video.
See, there you go. We got to make a punch card of all the different spots.
Look at it. We're doing people's jobs now.
So we need to get Dan to,
Dan Torres.
in the next 2 weeks, to like design like a bingo card.
Yes.
That would be
Oh,
like
from Galveston?
from
Yeah.
all the places
Oh,
in
yeah.
y'all's video.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he's my best friend.
Oh, cool. Man, see, we just have so many friends in common, I bet.
I bet you, I don't know what you look like. No offense, because there's no camera right now. But I bet you we probably cross paths at some point.
Maybe so, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a small world, especially in Galveston County.
True. Yeah, so I was talking to Jessica Antonelli, and she was able to do a ticket discount. So it would be for Saturday and Sunday. La Izquierda at Beach Central is the location this year. And the code is going to be MIML10. So yeah, and it's like 10% off the general admission tickets.
Heck yeah. Oh, yeah.
To this event.
All the cool kids will be there.
I guess there's a few things coming up that I should mention because it's my job.
No problem.
But so Lago has a couple of shows. One of them is the Cater Outdoor Show, which is on Rice University campus, and it's free. So it's going to be cool. I don't know what the lineup is yet, but I'm thinking that they'll drop it soon. So that's
Very
a fun
cool.
one. And then we're also playing a free show. I think it's free. I'm pretty sure. Unless it's upstairs, because have y'all been to Axelrad in Houston?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually don't know if it's upstairs or outside, but
Okay.
there's this band from Austin, Letting Up Despite Great Faults, that we're going to play with. And that was my upcoming calendar spiel.
Solid.
You guys keep yourself busy, huh?
Yeah, I try to. Yeah.
Are you playing with
It
multiple
always-
bands like all the time, or are you usually like in one project for a little while and then?
I would like to. It just sort of depends on what everybody is down for. And I just joined another band. So I guess I am trying to stay busy, to be honest. But yeah, so I started recently playing bass with Young Mammals from Houston.
Yeah, yeah. Right on.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. We're about to have like our first full band practice, and they're playing the Cinco de Mayo, the May 5th one, the Third Eyeland takeover. So that's
nice.
fun. So our first show will be in Galveston, and I need to go practice bass.
Right.
But yeah, that's going to be fun.
Gosh, I just love that you challenge yourself with all this stuff. Like I know I
Yeah.
need to go practice. But I joined a band so that I would go practice.
Right.
Yeah, and then you have to book a show like before you're ready, or something like that to really put the fire under you.
Oh,
Is that what people do? Like I'm shocked by this.
Oh yeah, but that's like we talked about the other day. Is a lot of creative people, they want that pressure. That's when they're their most productive selves. And so you want that like, oh God, I've got 2 weeks to figure this out. I better learn something.
Yeah, or like me and Charlie have been booking mixed dates with Steve Christensen, and we'll book ahead of time. We'll just book like a weekend, and then that's the only way that we'll ever finish tracking at home. Like if we, because it just, how it is. It's like the last part of tracking is just like the hardest to get through. I guess it's like that 80-20 rule that they're always talking about.
Yeah.
But if we have those mixed dates on the calendar, it scares us. And we're like, oh, we really need to finish this. We can't walk into this and be like, Steve, we don't have anything.
That's funny. That's another person that we know in common, Steve Christensen.
Yeah.
Like he's produced a bunch of EPs and stuff when I was in rock bands back in the day. Talk about a talented guy.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And super humble.
A wizard.
And loves Diet Coke and Ranch. Not together.
Oh, was it Diet Coke back then?
Yeah. It was
Ooh,
back.
I found something out.
Yeah. Back in the day, like the dude would go through like just massive quantities of Diet Coke. And I was like, dude, you're in your 20s drinking Diet Coke. You're really old. And then I started drinking Diet Coke and I was like, oh, that's actually not bad. But yeah.
Okay. This is news to me. I'm pretty sure he kicked the Diet Coke thing.
But has he kicked the ranch thing is a better question, because he was, because these were back in the days when he was still like I think he was a senior engineer at the time.
At Sugar Hill?
Yeah. Way back in the day.
Yeah, cool.
And he would tell me like, you're at the studio and he's, doing midnight to dawn. And so nothing's open when they're taking breaks.
I heard about those days. It's all night shifts.
Oh yeah, dude. And that's how the only way we could afford to touch the door at Sugar Hill, because it was so expensive. But he would talk about how he would go into their little break room area, and he would grab bread, toast it, and put ranch on it, and he called it Tanch sandwiches.
Oh my God, I'm definitely gonna bring this up. He's gonna be mad.
Oh, he is totally. But man, it was just so funny because like this dude. You fast forward now, he's won a Grammy and stuff, and it's like, whoa, dude, like. See, kids, you can live your dreams. Just eat ranch sandwiches and Diet Coke.
Wow.
I don't think he does the ranch sandwich anymore.
Thank goodness, because that could not have been healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how it is. We're all getting older. We got to be healthy now.
True.
When you're doing all night recording sessions, you need all the caffeine, I guess, empty carbs.
Man, I mean, we still go through coffee big time. Like, there's always a big pot of coffee. So maybe we have one more vice left.
True that.
It's funny,
that's
though.
crazy.
We'd always be like, all right, our CD release shows on this date. We have to finish on
Yeah.
this date.
Right.
Which you can't do with vinyl, but
Oh, yeah, we learned that with the last release. It was like, it's popping up now. Like March 11th, 2021, we were like, album's coming out. We gave ourselves, I think they said initially it'd be 8 to 12 weeks. We put 15 weeks was when we were going to be like, they'll be out on this date. Give ourselves some cushion. And then I think we got them sometime the first week of June that year. And so it was like, I'm already seeing it in my like Facebook memories. Like, we promise you they're coming. They're saying mid to late April. It's coming.
oh, thank you for pre-ordering.
Exactly.
Right.
You didn't walk off with your money.
We're finding new and better things to throw in the package, so just make it up to you.
Yeah.
There's many songs where I know the lyrics very well because we did a lot of handwritten lyric sheets
We sure did.
to say sorry. I think like something like 60 or 70. I was just like, okay, I know this song.
Wow.
I will never forget these words ever.
Which is helpful because I always forget words, and it's so frustrating because you're like, I wrote this. How come I can't remember this? But if you have to handwrite it 50 times.
See, I can remember them. My problem, Lauren, is that I don't remember them in the right order.
Yeah, that's the third verse.
It's not right. That's not what goes now.
And this is why I don't sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, singing is the worst.
Yep.
You don't ever get your notes mixed up anymore.
Well, I only get it mixed up whenever, Sam throws a weird change in that didn't exist. But that's okay. We like living on the
Keeping you on
edge.
your
Oh,
toes.
are you that one?
Yeah.
We're just, it's all jazz.
You know what? Everything is jazz.
What chord will be played tonight?
You're like, watch for the changes, trying
Right.
to keep up.
Exactly.
What I always love is I'm like, no one's going to like this song because I can hardly remember the lyrics. That's the one everyone's like, that's great. Play that song. It's like, I have the hardest time remembering the words.
Because I thought it was a terrible song, so I didn't think it was worth remembering.
Like set list where you have to put the first word of each verse under the
Oh, man.
album, under the title. Where it's like, okay, now I know.
That's like REM with the song "The End of the World as We Know It." Like, I bet you Michael Stipe was like, "This song is going to be buried in this album somewhere. It'll be kind of a joke," and then like,
I'll never have to perform it
That
live.
song's great. It's like, oh crap.
Yeah, they're at the mercy.
You're right. It's like I got to pay the bills.
Giving
Looks
people
like
what they want.
I'm singing this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our friend Otis Gibbs did this long story song. He said for album only, and same thing. It started getting played on like all these Sirius, wherever there's satellite radio stations and stuff. And he was like, it's like 7 minutes. It's like a full out story that has him picking guitar underneath
Wow.
it and all this stuff. And so he was like, everyone wants to hear it. So he had like this huge, like to have a teleprompter, just like a stack of paper that he would cover like all the monitors with.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'd be like, oh God, now we got to
And
do
that's a
this.
big chunk out of your set time too. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
let me throw in that 7-minute song.
That's when you're ahead. You're like, I only do this when I'm headlining because I have all the time.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
So kids, be careful what you write because it could be "You're Going the Distance" by Cake, which they hate that song. They don't even play it live now. You know? And if
I
Yeah,
gotta
you
play-
never know.
Don't be flock of seagulls, dude. You got to play it.
Play the hits.
right, it's drop the shit, play the hit. Let's
It's
do
like
it.
there's one. I remember being a kid and going to see Real Big Fish, and I thought that was the coolest thing I ever saw. They opened with a song, and then they're like, "All right, time to cut the shit and get to the hit." And they played
Yeah.
"Sell Out," second song of the set.
That's a
Like,
ballsy move.
Y'all can go home now. And then they just played for like another,
Oh,
like punk
my
ska
God.
band, like for the 40 minutes after that.
Nice.
But it was
That's
just
crazy.
great. They were just like, I'm like, what? I've never seen a band before or since that was just like, second song's our hit, and we have nothing else at this
Wow.
point that you know.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's so funny how people handle that. It's like, well, I guess you're lucky if you have a hit, so
Right.
just play it.
Right, dude. Like, seriously, man. That one hit, man, it's paid for a lot of cars.
Oh, yeah.
Sent a lot of kids through college. You know what
Especially
I mean?
before streaming.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that, though. I remember we saw Counting Crows one time where they did like a completely weird version of Mr. Jones, and everyone was like, what? That's not how it goes. It's like the words were all there. It's just we did a jazzy, jammed out
You
version.
gotta be careful with that, though, man. Like, you mess it up, and people are like, I hate this band.
I want my $20 back.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably not the place to experiment too much. I mean, some people do it and it's great. Like Björk does that all the time, like completely redo it. But it's so good and creative that you're just like, oh, I'm very happy about this.
Well, yeah, and then I think that's the like Bjork can get away with it because like so much of what she does is just art in general, and so
Yeah.
like you kind of expect that's like going to see Sigur Rós, right? You don't know what the guy's singing because he made up the language, so he's just like humming these sounds. You're like, yeah, it sounds like the record. I think
Yeah,
so.
but the one time when I saw him, it was like, dude, where I need the bow on the guitar.
Right.
I feel ripped off.
Right.
Where's it at? And then when it happened, I was like, yeah,
I love this band.
that was it. I'm gonna do
He's
that.
got to pull out the bow.
he didn't
Or
bring
I'm
the-
going home.
Right. Exactly. I'm heading to the door. I'm out. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, man, I've gotten into a bad habit of kind of writing like that. Like I'll just kind of make sounds, which I don't know. Sometimes the lyrics happen and sometimes I'm just stuck. I'm like, great, I have like this, just all these sounds and I don't have lyrics for them. Cool. It's gotten me in trouble.
It was interesting. What was it? We were on the road, me and Kim, and we listened to Jeff Tweedy from Wilco's autobiography. And he talked about that. Like they'll get together and jam, and he'll get a song together. And he's like really low in the mix. I'll just make sounds that sound like words.
Yeah.
And then sit down and be like, okay, here's the vocal melody. What does it sound like I'm saying? And he could like try to create
Exactly.
lyrics that
And you're just
sound.
like, well, I have some homework to do.
Right.
Wow.
It was like, yeah, I usually write the lyrics, or I'll go into a journal and find something like, this is close enough. I can change these few words, and it's basically what's there.
Yeah.
That would be so cool to have a journal. I just have never been a journal person.
Me either.
No, I think of all the bands I've ever been in, I don't remember any singer ever having a journal. Like in the movies, it looks so cool. Like the guy's like,
Yeah.
I have a song. And he opens the journal like, oh my God, like that's amazing.
The composition book.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, you're so organized.
I have a bunch of them. I have like probably 5 or 6 different journals, and they all have like one song partially finished on the first page. And then I put them on a shelf. I was like, then I buy another one.
Because you lost that one?
Yeah, then I'll find them all. It's like combined, I have 3.5 songs out of these 8 journals I have.
That's why I just started using Google Keep.
Solid point.
Yeah, I do use Notes app a lot.
Yeah.
But if I have a
hashtag
journal, I'll
it
just
with-
rip all the pages out.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I do.
I'm definitely a ripper.
I definitely like to write as well, though. So when I may have an idea that I put in my Google Keep, but I'm probably working it out on paper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm drafting it that way, just because it feels better to scratch stuff out.
So
to
it is
me.
kind of something I'd be interested in because, like I like a lot of the atmospheric kind of music and stuff. And I guess do y'all usually start out with all the music and then come in with lyrics, or do sometimes you have lyrics ahead of time?
It varies. I think for the new stuff that we're doing, Raudiver, the electronic kind of stuff, it's always vocals last. It's like everything else, the bones of the song are always first, and then we'll do other stuff like at the end. But for Lago, that was probably, and Texas Skeksis, we would do some improv sometimes where it would just be, like just making sounds. Sometimes like a phrase will come that's really cool because then you're like, oh yeah, I have something to work with now.
I
Yeah.
like that. It's like improv. That's so artsy. It's so much more artsy than what we do.
It's a lot.
Very practiced.
Well, I think that you whenever you're writing, you're always, it always starts as improv, in a way.
Mhm.
Because it doesn't exist before and you have to improvise.
That's
it.
You are correct. I'll have to change my view on that.
Yeah, there you go. You're an improv writer now.
Yeah, right.
Get with the times, Kim.
Well, it's also like when you have a full band of a bunch of people get in a room and make a bunch of noise by themselves, or even keyboards and things like that. But I'm very much 9 times out of 10. It's like I wrote these lyrics and I spent 5 minutes coming up with the song.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it depends, I guess, if you're in kind of a lyrics, central lyrics focused genre. I think some are and some definitely aren't.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
true.
But
I think some of the genres that we do are like, some people just don't even care about the lyrics. The writers, you'll ask people and they're like, oh, I don't really care what it's saying. It's just, I need lyrics, but I do care. It's just like, it's almost never a starting point for me,
Yeah, but I think I know people who write very lyric centric music. They're also better guitar players, but they'll sit down and work out all the melodies and finger pick everything. And they'll be like, here's the song. And then sit down and start and spend another week on working out the lyrics. But it's like, but I started out completely just, here's the song done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done before. I do it more now that we've been doing more full out band stuff, like where it's like, okay, here's this progression, and I'll add drums, use the drum machine, and like beat things out. And then they don't really know this though, because a lot of stuff I hide because I'm embarrassed until it's done. Like you
But
can't.
we're going to confess it now live.
Right? Yeah.
They don't know where that folder's at.
I'm going to look now.
Right?
I'm kidding.
Do not read. It's
No,
what it's
I would
called.
like, I
It's
totally have that.
It's got a lock on it.
But I have that same, it's a hidden file, obviously. Duh.
Oh no,
but-
everything's easier to hide in plain sight.
That's true.
True.
But I have that same fear and that same, I guess just like, I'm not really sure of myself, so I'm not ready to show this to anyone else yet.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think we all do that. So I would never go looking for your folder, dear.
I don't care. It's kind of interesting because you're kind of like us. Like me and Kim do a lot of stuff around the house together, and I'm guessing you and Charlie, do y'all kind of work separate from each other and come together? Or do y'all do a lot of just getting together and playing stuff and kind of woodshedding the songs?
It depends. It's probably a combination of those. Because sometimes, we'll want to be working by ourselves in a corner, and it's good to vary it up. Y'all know you're married. It's good to have like your little corner where you can go hide.
Yeah.
And he has his collage art too. He has like in a little electronics kind of work area. So he'll go huddle over there. Or definitely lyrics too. You're just in a corner like trying like, I need a moment of privacy, please.
I need to hear myself think for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everything else just kind of depends. Sometimes we're I guess since we've started tracking at home, that can be way easier with two people sometimes. Or sometimes I'm just like doing like vocal comps or something. And that's very, okay, just I need to focus and be in here by myself. It just depends.
Yeah.
It's don't look at me during my moments of shame when I'm trying to play this one chord, like one progression, and I can't do it. It's like, go away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But you just played it
and
fine.
it's like complicated isn't always better. You know, it's sometimes like simplicity is the best thing you can do with the song. So
Also,
it doesn't have to
sometimes
be-
you just have to leave them alone. They just need to be alone in the house to get, clear their head and do it. That's just, I'm the same way.
Yeah, it's true.
There are times, poor Kim, it's like throw myself in bed. I suck.
I'm garbage.
I'm the worst.
Oh, it's such a roller coaster.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's true for everybody, like no matter how big they are or small. It's just always a roller coaster of how you feel about your work or where you're at,
I just imagine Taylor Swift being like, this song's garbage. No one's ever going to like it.
Oh, yeah, the bright side is she's loaded. Yeah.
Right. She can afford to fail.
Yeah, she can afford therapy.
She's got
and all
professional
that.
writing there helping to tell her it's fine.
Right. I want professional writers to
This is
tell
like
me it's fine.
this is gonna be two podcasts in a
Polish that
row.
up.
Asyncratic, but asynchronous. Sorry, but that we're gonna be talking. I'm gonna be like the Swifties are gonna murder me.
But it's okay because there is no such thing as bad press, right?
I keep
Right.
hoping, man. Like I've
So they say. I mean, I guess maybe Andy Warhol said that about weighing your press, not reading it, but that was before cancel happened.
True.
You can definitely say the wrong thing. I don't know about back then, like in the 50s, but
True that.
pay the $5 cover and come in and tell me what a monster I am. That's fine.
Right, exactly. Exactly. We could start selling tomatoes at our shows for Swifties to throw at you on stage.
Wow.
I'm cool with that.
That could be
That's
like
clever.
the middle of the set for
who's
the
gonna make the
encore.
Kroger run?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Who's going to clean the equipment afterwards? No.
We'll just,
It'll
Now
be
better take out an insurance policy.
truth.
we'll do it like after the end of the set when that starts. We'll just drape plastic. We'll get it down.
Yeah.
We'll spend time that's what we need. We need to spend time learning to strike and set plastic. We already
Quickly.
did a podcast instead of practicing. Let's do that instead of actually working on our music.
There we go. Just work on the theatrics of it.
It sounds like a distraction, but
I mean, that's a whole part of it for sure.
Right. So we start getting into the
Theatrics.
booking and everything. Like, what can I do to not be working on the music that we play?
Every aspect of it.
I mean, you kind of have to. You kind of have to take a break and work on like the business side of it. There's so many like tiny details to keeping up with, releasing music and all your emails and social media and all of that. Booking is a whole thing.
Oh yeah, like every aspect. Well, and then also like you guys, a lot of your shows are fully, organized by you guys. So you're bringing in sound systems, lights. I know, that there's a lot of light shows and stuff like that. And so it's like there's a lot of moving parts. And so it's like there's not just one thing to focus on in that kind of situation.
Yeah, which I don't know. Sometimes it's good. And music videos are fun too. Charlie just got, I guess we were spending our tax refund on a camera.
Heck yeah.
So we can film stuff. We can do it in house
There you go.
and try to save. Hopefully it pays for itself after a while. Because you know how it is. You do a music video with somebody and you're never paying them as much as you should be paying them.
Right.
That's just like the field of arts in general. Nobody's really getting paid that well. But even that, it's like as a smaller band, you can't really afford to pay to have videos made very often. So we're hoping to kind of do that in house.
Well, that's
I
why
love it.
like bands like Swimwear Department are so cool because those guys, they're like some of them are art majors, but like Ned, the bass player, he majored in film, like editing and all
Oh,
that.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so he's one of my
cool.
former students, so it's really funny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, watching him grow up and be all successful and stuff. It's like, oh, I'm so proud of you, buddy.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and he's an artist and
Oh,
everything.
he's just like, and I remember like seeing kind of the starting points of some of his characters that he created in high school, and to see them kind of be fleshed out and being, he showed me what his next evolution of his artwork's going to be, and a lot of people are going to be impressed. I just can't wait till he puts it out there. But he's able to do so much of their stuff in house because of his background. So it's like what I'm saying is we need to find us a video person.
Well,
So
I mean,
like
that's
John.
what John does. Grifters and Chills. Like he is. When you watch video and stuff and audio stuff from NASA, John's the one who does all that.
True that.
Wow.
Him and a few other
interesting.
people, but he is one of the people.
However, we never pay him what he's worth. And
We couldn't afford him.
that's true.
Hopefully NASA's taking care of him.
But that's also why you learn to do things yourself. It's another, shame element of being in the arts. I can't pay you what you're worth, so I have to learn to do this myself.
Right?
Yeah.
Teach me your secrets.
Yeah, exactly. Man.
I mean, that's a lot of the reason we record ourselves and do all that. I mean, I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
But it's also like, hey, man, I guess I had a background in it. So that's me not being completely truthful. I had a background in audio engineering, but it was more on the spoken word kind of thing.
Okay.
Wait. This is,
Cool.
I didn't know about that. What?
Yeah, I used to do like, educational videos and things like that.
Like voiceover stuff? And
Voiceover stuff, but also doing things like, capturing events and things like that.
I just learned a whole new chapter about you, buddy. Did we just become best friends?
I don't talk about a lot of this. Like, I want people to be more impressed by the fact this idiot figured this out. It's like, yes.
Oh, it's all about the myth of Samuel Barker.
Creating the character of.
Myth.
Got it.
No, it's
Yeah, we
just
have to be
more.
mysterious.
Yeah. It's kind of once the truth comes out, it's like completely unimpressive. It's like, shouldn't you be better?
You're terrible.
Man.
No.
Yeah, tracking at home
We
is
just
really
keep learning.
cool.
Yeah.
It
And you
is.
can do it now, and it's not, digital has come a long way, and it's a lot cheaper and easier, and you don't have to spend so much time fixing tape machines. Even though
Right.
Charlie loves to buy old analog stuff, and it just sits around.
That's
Until
okay.
we finally decide, like, we're probably not going to fix it. Maybe we should just sell it.
But yeah, I mean, I think also, that with the advent of the digital recording, even if you're not planning on releasing it, it's nice to go through the process because of that, there's that whole like red light fever when the recording starts, things go like, oh, I forgot everything I played. And so it's nice. So if you get kind of used to being under that kind of stress, when you go to the studio, you're not wasting so much time. Because I remember back in the day, like, you'd spend a whole 4 hours just trying to figure out how to make your sound right. So at least now with what we can do at home, we can go into a studio and be like, well, I was using this and this is how it kind of sound. And so it kind of streamlines that process for your producers and engineers, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, I think with Steve, he's it's so relaxing to be in the studio. I was really surprised when we first recorded. We were doing the first album, Colors, and I'd never been in a studio before. And he just turned around in his chair and we just started talking about random stuff for like maybe 30 minutes, an hour before we even started working on anything. So it definitely calmed me down because you are nervous. You're just
Yes.
like, oh wow, time is money.
Yeah, no.
And you're just like, we have to do so much. Where do we start? And I remember that session in particular, because of course you remember like the first time you go into the studio really vividly. But we also had like this day that was just like almost like campfire stories, where for some reason we got on like people he was talking about like people who tried to commit suicide, but then they sort of like changed their mind at the last minute, but they ended up surviving. It was very weird. We were just talking about all kinds of weird like campfire stuff.
Just to break the ice.
To break the tension, yeah.
There you go.
Well, it's a lot of stuff that just distracts you from the craziness that's about to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's like, well, we're not in a life and death situation. I guess we're going to be okay in here.
Exactly.
No kidding.
See, where I'm like, times we recorded a studio, I was like the Chris Rock show. Like, that bad tape cost us exactly $12.36. Pull it together.
Right.
Yeah, at least you just book, you book X amount of days and you're like, well, it can't be more than this much. But it's just like, are you going to finish in time?
Oh, yeah.
But I guess that's what EPs are for.
Exactly. This is an EP now.
Yeah,
3 solid tracks. We are good.
it's an EP.
We went in to record our full length, and here's our 7-inch.
There you go,
Hope
guys.
y'all enjoy it.
Yeah.
We worked so hard.
Yeah, this song's so long, it's just the A and B sides of the same song. It's just first and second half.
Oh, my God.
What we got?
That's what we got.
What we got?
Yeah, so now we're trying to track at home and then just have them mixed, because mixing is tough. It's like we can get a rough mix that we still hate, and you're
Yeah.
always like, oh,
yeah.
this just needs to be a little louder. Then you're like, oh, that needs to be a little louder. It needs to be a little quieter.
But I
Just
still
like
have
back and forth.
no idea what I'm doing. I think that I know what needs to be louder. And
Then
then,
you try a different set
right, then
of
like the
speakers and you're
18th
like, oh, man, how do
play.
they do this?
The 18th play, Sam's like, don't you hear this little squeal right here? And I'm like, I don't hear anything anymore. I don't hear anything. It's hard after a while. Mixing is, I think, the
it's
hardest
tiring.
thing. So I just let the experts do that.
It's very magical.
Tap the mic stand. You can hear it. It's like,
No, I
so you
can't.
hear that tick? It's like not once you added the drums, bass, and electric over it. I didn't. But you can hear it. I can hear it.
I know it's there.
So that's something that, you know, if it's something you experience, I mean, as you record, I know for me, like I always have to like go after we do the final mix and it's done. Like I can't listen to it for a few months. And then when I go back a few months later, I can't remember any of the mistakes I made. I can't find them. And it's just like, oh, okay, it's fine.
Oh, this sounded good. This sounded decent. What was I worried about?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can get really micro focused on things.
Yes.
I always feel like getting your masters back is like the pinnacle of how you feel about that batch. And it's always like, oh, this is just the best you're ever going to feel about anything. And then it's kind of like all downhill from there. You just start the cycle again. But it's really cool to get your masters back. And then you just don't listen to your music. Or I don't listen to my music after that. I'm just like, no, I don't need to hear that again.
I'm past it now.
Yeah.
It's just weird sometimes we're at places like friends of ours are really have this weird thing about, hey man, we're going to put on y'all's album when you're at our house. It's like, this is not,
That's
always
really awkward.
right. It's like at first you go like, oh, it doesn't sound bad. And it's like, oh God, it's us. There's that moment of like, good, it didn't sound that bad when I didn't know it was us. And now I'm like mortified.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Can you please not do this?
I have like too many barista friends. Like we walk into a coffee shop in here. If you hear yourself, you're just like, oh no, you just like shrink away. But it's great. The streams, I got my penny or my fraction of a penny or whatever.
Right. Put in a down payment, kids.
Always tell me, we can almost taste that bean burrito.
It's going to be good.
It's all these streams rolling in 3 months.
We'll be able to
Eventually
split
it's
it
going to add up to
three-way.
$10 and you can get your payout.
Right. Thank you, Jeff Bezos, for that Apple or that Amazon Music payout. Thank you.
I'm just saying, we got our statement in, and apparently YouTube, if you're going to listen to people's music, go listen to it on YouTube. It pays like actual cents per play,
Oh man.
not fractions of a cent, but it was like 3, 4, 6 cents depending on the song.
Well, and I guess it's probably because they're already getting money from the ad that plays before it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was
Yeah.
like, man, where people try to say that Apple pays more than Spotify, they do not. At least according to our streams, they pay basically identical rate.
No, it's
Okay,
Spotify is suing to not have to pay that much.
I'm just saying, I can pull up our,
No, I'm
our
just
thing
saying-
and show you.
Like Apple's like, whatever, we'll pay you your fraction 1,000th of a penny.
You know, man, Apple's out stealing technology from
Yeah.
people to put in their watches, and they don't have to worry about music. That's just something.
Come on.
Man. Yeah, we do Tidal, but I don't know. I've heard it's better, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
they pay more apparently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
May pay YouTube numbers.
YouTube
YouTube
numbers.
numbers, yeah.
That's great.
I was just blown
Big
away.
money.
That was just something in the last week bit of trivia where I was like, oh, how much did YouTube pay per play? Like, hey, who's listening to us on YouTube? But whoever it is, thank you.
Right, exactly.
It's cool, yeah.
Like, yeah, who listens to music on YouTube?
I guess we have, dude, I do a lot more, so I got unlimited YouTube.
Oh, you fancy.
Well, I did it for the open mics. We started running a community open mic thing here in Baytown for like, because there are no music venues.
Oh, that's cool.
And there's
Yeah.
nothing. So it's like, hey, man, once a month, come out. People who live here can play music in front of people who live here. And so a few of the kids like make their beats and they're like, we uploaded it to YouTube. Okay.
Apparently they're doing it right.
Right?
And they come out. I mean, it's their channel, their beats, their thing, but it's like it's on YouTube. That's where here's a private link. You can run it off of YouTube. And I just didn't want to be, hey, everybody, here's Mike on Mike. And it's like,
An ad plays.
have you ever wanted a hamburger? And it's like, hold up. He'll be able to start in 17 seconds.
Oh God.
Oh, technology.
It's a
Fun.
struggle. You got to just try your best. Keep up.
But it lets us do things like record at home, which is kind of cool.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
and you don't have to have physical formats because it doesn't always make sense to do that.
Right.
It's like,
And I
it's
know
great.
I'm
It's a
old, but
great
I really
option.
never thought we'd be in a time where I wouldn't want a physical form of music. But now that I have a streaming service, that's what I don't listen to CDs anymore, really.
No, I buy records and then just stream stuff.
I don't miss having the giant like rack for all the CDs or the CD holder above your visors in your car, and so when you take a left turn, they all fly out.
But I do miss going to my friend's
that album
house
in the passenger side.
Yes.
Right. But it's always fun going to your friend's house and silently judging them off their collection.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And now you don't have that.
Well, I just remember when Dan Torres realized that he could, this is where we get sued by iTunes, he could send me the files of all of his music from iTunes. And so he would just put it on a jump drive and give it to me. And I was like, Dan, there's a lot of pink in here. He's like, what? I was like, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of pink. He goes, that's my niece's. Uh-huh. Cool. Yeah, whatever, dude.
Yes, man. I've been listening to that.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
She's
know.
got a voice, okay?
It was a great live show, and this was before the Cirque du Soleil part, like when she just shut up and played. Or open for Lenny Kravitz.
I saw that show too.
Dude.
That was a solid show.
Was.
Yeah. Man, we just totally like aged ourselves. Like now we know.
Oh, we're old. It's
We
fine.
are.
It's fine.
Truth.
Well,
That's
do you have
okay.
any other things you want us to talk over you about? Like, I feel like lately, the last couple, I feel like Mark Maron, where it's just like, will he shut up and let the guest tell a story?
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about cats for 30 minutes. I don't know if y'all are cat people.
My allergies. We could talk about my allergies to cats. I'm just glad that I'm not around cats right now. My eyes swell shut. So
It's a good thing that we
it's not
did
fun.
remote.
That's
Yes.
true. I know we have a lot of cat owning friends in Kim's vibe, but it is
That's
funny
true.
at their houses. Like, I can't go to your house ever.
Like I'm gonna need to take a couple of Benadryl before I come in the door.
So then you're just comatose at their house. Like,
No, Kim's such
I'm
an addict
functional
that
on Benadryl.
she's a functional Benadryl addict.
so this whole podcast is nothing but an intervention.
Yeah.
No, like I said, she's functional. Like most people, you would be asleep right now, and Kim's just like, it's fine.
I take 6 Benadryl a day.
What?
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
do.
Wait, how many hours is that supposed to last?
So I take them in the morning when I wake up so I can breathe for most of the day.
Oh my!
Usually in the afternoon I have to take a couple, and then before I go to bed.
You're popping these things like Tic Tacs.
Well, I can tell you I'm going to see an allergist.
I think that would be a good idea.
I told my speech therapist, my new like vocal coach lady, that I had so many Benadryl I took. She was like, "Oh my god!"
Like that's not safe.
That's just functional. Oh, it's safe.
not
It's fine.
safe.
I'm going to blame it on the refineries and the chemical plants and all that.
Yeah, because I
100%.
grew up around that, and I've had allergies since I was a kid. Terrible.
I didn't have allergies
yeah.
until after like Hurricane Ike. Like I never had seasonal allergies, but rumor has it that when like you have a hurricane like that, it pushes a lot of things up,
Oh,
and so
yeah.
I was like, it's weird.
You've also never been older than you were
True.
before.
It's just downhill, kids.
There's another theory. Yeah. But
Yeah.
some of it goes away. I mean, I think I had childhood asthma. So did Charlie, because, I think it's pretty common if you grow up in refinery towns.
100%.
My younger brother did. Yeah.
Yeah. So luckily that went away, I hope.
So you guys grew up in Texas City. I grew up in Port Neches,
Yeah, so we all have the same.
another refinery town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun,
very
fun.
similar.
See, I grew up in Crystal Beach where we didn't have refineries. We had oil pumps.
You didn't have like
Beach.
concrete roads.
Not until I was like 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah, don't look down your nose at me.
Man, I had
87 was paid.
my mom's side, we had like I think it's a great grandmother who was in that area, Crystal Beach, like during the 1900 storm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I thought, I was like, well, my mom's family's from Galveston. So like, surely they were here for that storm. And I was like, Mom, did they ever say anything about that? And I have one grandpa who's still alive, and she asked him, and he's been sitting on this story. Like he wasn't going to bother to tell anybody about it. But apparently she was out there by herself. Like her husband was like a captain on a ship or something. So he was out, and she had a little baby. And I guess the tide must have been coming in, or, you can just tell it's going to be a hurricane. And so she was trying to go to the lighthouse in Bolivar.
Yeah.
And she didn't make it because it's pretty far. And so she had like a piece of rope, and she just tied off to an oak tree. And that's how she rode out the storm.
Holy crap.
And my grandpa was just going to take that to the grave.
Like,
Wow.
yeah, that's things we need to know. Like, that's.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you have family from this area, I think it's always good to ask just in case, because you never know.
No kidding.
They just may not bother telling people for whatever reason.
It's always those non-uplifting stories, but that's a pretty strong, like, man, your great grandma tied herself to a tree and made it through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like that. I mean, that's definitely traumatizing, but it's cool that she had the wits to figure out how to survive that.
Yeah.
It's pretty, there's like nothing out there. There's that new, it's like a Margaritaville RV resort. Have y'all seen that?
One of my coworkers sent me that. It's like, isn't this where like you should live? And I was like, it is. And I was like, man, they're going to get sued. I can't believe they're using that name. And then I looked it up. I was like, oh my God, that's officially. Like,
it's got to be official, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought someone in Crystal Beach thought they could get away with it. But it was like, no, this is real, like in Crystal Beach.
It's real Margaritaville.
Jimmy Buffett approved.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Lots of cool red dirt bands are coming through there.
Dang. So we're not going to be on that playlist anytime soon?
No, but a friend of mine opened a bar out there that's having music.
Heck yeah. What's it called?
Oh, really?
It's called the Naughty Beaver, but naughty like nautical.
Oh, yeah.
A play on words.
Stop.
I know. I was trying to say a reason it wasn't really that dirty, and there's nothing I can think
There's
of.
no way to avoid that. Like they've
But
sent
that's
you.
very Bolivar.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Like, they sell the hell out of t-shirts.
I mean, that's my sense of humor is what it is.
Right.
That's where you grew up.
Yeah, that's where I grew up.
Oh my God. Cannot wait till I get to tell my kids I'm playing the Naughty Beaver.
We're not yet.
Where are y'all playing this weekend? That's what I'm doing.
Naughty Beaver. Let's do this.
Gross.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a venue name that even trumps that. I can't think of anything.
Oh.
That must be Tops.
There's something out there, but nothing I've played. So if this June 10th thing happens, it's going to be great. It's going to go down as like, this is the best named venue.
Right.
At least the most like appeals to the inner 15-year-old.
Oh, totally.
Like,
He said Naughty Beaver.
but like the ocean.
Right. So it's classy.
And also a cute animal.
Exactly. It's nothing bad about it at all.
It's you are the bad thing.
Right. You're bringing this to the table.
Well, cool, man. Well, it's hitting 8:00, so I'm going to let you have some of your evening back.
Thank you so
Lauren.
much for talking to us.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And now
this
one of
is
these days,
fun.
now that we have your dates, we can come out and actually see you in person and then awkwardly be like, hey, we're, ma'am, this is Kim. And
You remember us?
and be like, cool, yeah, cool.
We can all be awkward together. It's great.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome.
I like that. Let's just plan on that.
Okay.
Sounds like a great idea.
It'll be fun.
But thanks for coming on and talking to us about all your different projects and how busy you like to be. I like what you're doing with the music in your community.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. Yeah, this is fun. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, thanks for doing it. Have a good night.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening to this episode. It was really great to get to sit down and talk with Lauren. If you like her music, go out and follow Lago, Raudiver, and Texas Skeksis online. Follow Third Eyeland Party. Keep up with the shows they're putting on. It's really great stuff. And go follow Wake the Zine so you know what's going on kind of in the Galveston community. If you like the podcast, as always, make sure you tell some friends about it. We appreciate it. Listenership's really going up, man. We're stoked we're able to give this much attention to the bands we're talking to. We got a lot of good interviews coming up. Now we're going to leave you with the song we discussed. We also recommend going and finding this video on YouTube to see what we were talking about with all the different locations. This song is called Tell Me How It Ends. It is by Lago, and it's a good one. So enjoy that on the ride out, man. We'll see you next week with Gabe Wooten, part 1.